Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Untitled. My name is Jenny Sharp with National Title Group. Today, my guest of honor, the Tucker Bomar from Compass Real Estate. We can call him Ticker.
Sure.
Mother Tucker. Whatever you want. Welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
On a Monday, no less, right after the storms.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, I was a little scared we weren't going to make it again today. We had to cancel last week because of the storms. That was the day of the power outage and all the trees coming down and flooding, all that good stuff. How did your house make it through?
Our house did. Our power went out. We live kind of in Old Lake Highlands, so we're like kind of really high up, and the wind was blowing so hard at our house. I'd never seen it like that.
Really?
Like my whole life, being in Dallas, I've never seen it blow like that. It was really frightening.
Did you have trees fall down in your yard?
We didn't have any trees in our yard, but like our whole neighborhood is all old trees, and so they were just like looking for a reason to fall down. So a lot of them did, and we have our power lines aren't buried, so the trees take the power line and just like bring the whole thing down. So our whole neighborhood was out and some parts of it still are.
Still?
Yeah, but we were like out for 3 days.
So people have no AC still.
Yeah.
Over a week or at a week.
I know. I really feel fortunate that it didn't happen for us that long, and we had another place to go. So we got to go somewhere else. We have we have a 7-month-old daughter. And so having no AC with the baby, and the baby has all these things that you need, like bottle washers and bottle warmers and sound machines and
high maintenance
and the Nana video where you watch them when they're sleeping. All that stuff, like none of that works, when you don't have power. So we were lucky we got to go to my in-laws' house, and they were out of town. So we just got to hang at their place. Although when we went to sleep that night at their house in the middle of the night, their power went out.
For how long?
Until the next day. So we got up.
So it wasn't even just like a couple hours.
Yeah, but luckily when we woke up that morning, our power was back on, so we went back to our house.
That's good. Man, I feel lucky because my power didn't go out, and I live in a condo, so no trees around. So I made it unscathed this time.
It's tough for our business because, we put something under contract on a Friday and then a tree falls on it on a Saturday.
I saw so much of that, people posting on social media. They're like, today is closing. Yeah. The roof fell through. A tree fell on the house. And today's inspection day. So that was scrambling. So you had one home with drama?
A bunch of them. Yeah. Okay. And we have some vacant houses too that either they're new builds, or they're empty rentals that we have, waiting for a new tenant. And so you just got to make sure everything is kind of buttoned up with those. And that means driving over to all of them and making sure they're okay. And several of them, trees that hit the power line. A tree fell and ripped the whole service line off the house. So they're not going to have power for weeks and weeks. So the tenants will have to move out. But anyhow, everyone's safe.
Lots of people in hotels at this point. What about those little tents? That we've walked past
in
by
the
your
forest?
house before. Yeah, did they
They're
survive?
They're still there as far as I know, but I don't really go down in there too often.
So for those of you who don't know, which is everyone, Tucker and I, during the pandemic, we did a meeting, quote unquote, a work meeting, and we took a walk.
We did.
By White Rock Lake, which is near your house, and on one of the main streets, I don't remember what street that was, but it's basically across from your neighborhood.
Van Dyke.
It's just some open land. And we saw some tents.
Yep. We
don't know what goes on over there.
Nothing good. It's like a Blair Witch Project sort of tents.
It's like don't ask, don't tell. If you ask, it kind of opens a Pandora's box, and we don't need to know.
It's East Dallas, baby. You never know.
Did you see the tents after the storm?
No, I don't look down there. I don't look down there.
I still think it's been about 2 or 3 years. I still think about those tents and what goes on in there.
You know what? We can go check on them. See
I'm going to drive by today. Yeah. I'm going to drive by. I'm going to see Juniper.
Yes, young Juniper.
Who I haven't met yet, by the way, and I'm dying to meet.
You haven't met her yet?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Only in the womb.
Very famous, so
she is extremely famous. She needs her own Instagram account. She came out, and maybe we can get this picture up by the end of the episode, but she came out with more hair on her head than I have right now.
Yeah. You know what?
How does it happen? What side of the family does she get it from?
I have no idea.
And it's dark hair too.
It's dark, yeah. To me, it's kind of reddish. My mom has red hair, so
okay. I don't see the red in the pictures, but
yeah, it's up for debate.
Yeah,
you know? But I think to me it looks red-ish.
She's 7 months, full pigtails.
Full pigtails, yeah. She's just the cutest little.
She is so cute. I can't believe you've kept her from me.
It's funny right now, like every day she comes up with some, like she learns some new skill. And like this one that we were like, when we start to pick her up, now she can sit up, which is she's only been sitting up for like a week.
Aww.
But now she sits up and like plays with her toys and stuff. And then when we go to like pick her up, she like lifts her arms up to be picked up.
Aww.
And it just like melts my little heart.
Honestly, you kind of have to say it to people's kids, like, yes, your kid is cute, but your kid is actually the cutest baby in the entire world.
We take her out to dinner a lot.
Biggest smile. Oh, yeah. Does she give a lot of attention?
Oh, yeah. We parade her around the restaurant.
Is it good for biz?
To make sure. Yeah, of course.
You're like, oh, like, do you want to say hi to her? And then just like tuck a little business card in her pocket. Or be like, here, hand it to the nice man.
Whatever it takes.
Have you actually gotten leads off of it so far, you think?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's definitely a conversation starter, especially in our neighborhood. You know, I walk around. I have this like carrier where she like rides on the front of me like a rag doll. And
on your bike?
On my chest when I walk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And people ask me about her all, they come and go, oh my God, that hair is crazy.
The hair is nuts. It's high,
curly, you know what? It's
dark,
awesome. Yeah,
luscious, healthy,
She's
growing, just like her, growing like a weed.
Yep.
So, Tia, your wife, she works for Nordstrom, which I think is a really cool job. Lots of perks, I'm sure. But she's on the corporate side, right?
Yep.
How long has she been doing that?
Ever since I've known her, she's worked at Nordstrom. Nordstrom's a really great company. They have like this sort of hiring practice where they only hire people from within for the upper management positions.
Oh, nice.
And so it leads to a lot of job mobility when you start there. So like when I was dating her like 8 years ago or so, she was selling handbags. And then like every year she's just so great at it that they promote her to manager, to bigger manager. And then now she supports area sales for multiple stores.
In the region?
Yeah.
Is it throughout Texas or other states?
No, it's like really the Southwest, some select stores. She's there.
Big time.
So there's 3 here in Dallas, which there's one at Stonebriar, which we call Stroller Briar, because there are lots of families up there. Junie would fit in. Junie would fit in her stroller. Good. Yeah. There's Galleria, and then there's North Park. And so she goes kind of around to those, and then she flies to Scottsdale in Fashion Square. There's a great Nordstrom store there. And then for a while she was flying to Denver as well, to Cherry Creek.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if the nature of my job is sort of, I make my own hours, sort of.
Yeah.
And
at the beck and call of your clients, but make your own hours.
If I have like some free time, I can fly up there with her and hang out with her. And Scottsdale's cool, and Denver's really cool.
I love Denver.
Cherry Creek is amazing, but Scottsdale's cool too, and they have lots of cool architecture there. And
I heard it's really nice.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So when did you and Tia meet?
Or
I guess how long have you been married, and then maybe when did you meet also?
Yeah, we've been married 3 years, more than that, a little bit more than that. And we met about 7 or 8 years ago. And it's a silly story. My sister's 3 years older than me. Her name's Blair. And I
know Blair.
Yeah,
I love Blair.
Yeah. And she was like convincing me. She was convincing me to get Tinder back when Tinder was a thing. And
like when it was basically the only thing?
Yeah, it was like the only thing. There weren't really any other dating apps. And like back when that was going on, like dating apps were not that popular. Didn't seem like it seemed
What
like
year was this?
now it was like ubiquitous. I don't remember. I think it was 2015 or 2016.
Okay.
It did anyway. It just didn't seem that ubiquitous to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I was oblivious, but anyhow, she was like, "You should get it. You should get it." So I'm like, "All right, it's stupid." So I got it, and so I'm like flipping through, and then I matched with Tia.
Like pretty soon after you got Tinder, or were you
like
on it
the
for
same
months?
second. Like I had it for,
You guys.
you know, I had it for like,
that
20, 30
easy?
minutes. I was
Yeah.
going through and I'm like doing the swiping and then bang, she matched with me. And so, you like kind of don't know what to say to break the ice, right? It's like such an awkward thing.
Well, and it's such a new thing to you.
Yeah. I was a pioneer,
Okay, you say you're a pioneer, but I'm pretty
like
sure I
so.
was on Tinder in like 2012 or
All right,
2013.
fine. You were a pioneer.
I wasn't even. Someone showed it to
My
me.
sister was a pioneer apparently.
Yeah.
But in any case, I saw in Tia's picture that she had a Hockaday ring on, like the high school here. And that's a ring I recognize. And I went to ESD, so I knew a bunch of Hockaday people. And so I was like, well, I messaged her and I said, Hockaday ? And she said,
That's it.
yeah, I don't know. And she said,
Pioneer.
She said, pioneer, She said, maybe. I said, okay.
Just one word answers
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Yeah, so I said, it's like, well, I see you have a Hockaday ring there. Like, I went to ESD, so we probably know some of the same people.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know this one friend that one of my best friends from college went there? I was like, do you know Christine Peterson? And she said, maybe. And so I instantly
I think at this point she was like, is this guy a stalker?
yeah.
Or is he normal?
Potentially, but
we need to suss it out first.
Potentially, but I was being like pretty open. I was like, oh, I went to ESD. I told her all that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so she gave me the kind of cryptic response. So I deleted the app. Like right then, I was like, this is
You
dumb.
just ghosted her?
Yeah. No, I didn't ghost her. She
Yeah.
was like, there was no,
That's ghosting.
I just felt like
It's not going anywhere.
I don't want to play the games, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, and you felt like she wasn't giving you much. She was just saying maybe.
Yeah. I think
So
she was.
by definition, you did ghost her.
She would maybe potentially, it all worked out. So,
Yeah.
but I think she was maybe like feeling weird about it too. So it wasn't like anything, we were two innocent people on a strange digital world.
Yeah. Found love in a hopeless place.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But then, just like coincidentally, that friend I know, Christine Peterson, who I went to college with, married my college roommate who I also went to college with, obviously.
Where'd you go to school?
Ole Miss.
Okay.
And Reed Grogan was his name. And they were like my best friends during college. They got married.
Yeah.
And at one of their engagement parties, Tia was there. And
So it was a little more than maybe.
So they ended up being like they were best friends
Yeah.
in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just like
So
a
how
great
much-
coincidence.
What was the duration of time between your conversation ending, you deleting the app, and then that engagement party happening?
I don't remember.
Was it within the year, you think?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was enough to where like we remembered each other.
Okay.
And I think maybe she had asked Christine about me afterwards. She's like, do you know this creep? And she was like, yeah.
This guy who ghosted me?
Yeah. Like, yeah, we spent like, Christine and I spent like every day together because we were like roommates at one point.
Yeah.
She lived with my other roommate, who they are now married, and they live in Denver. And they're great folks.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Look at
but
us.
That's how it happened,
Wait, so did you talk to her at the engagement party?
Uh-huh.
Did you go up to her?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't recall.
Do you remember maybe what you said to break the ice?
I don't.
Because it must have been a tiny bit awkward.
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, who's going to say it first or
it's not like
but
either of you had an amazing experience talking on Tinder. It was just, and it wasn't
Yeah.
a bad experience, I wouldn't say. It was probably just a whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think from there, like Christine kind of set us up. She was like, you guys are both like awesome folk. And you'll get on great. And then from there,
You weren't good at dating apps. So
Apparently.
better in person.
apparently, yeah.
So
But
did you guys
yeah.
kind of hit it off at that party?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did. And then I took her on a date like 2 days later.
And the rest is history.
Freaking rest is history, man.
Was it pretty immediate? Like after that first date, you were like, yeah, I like this girl.
Yeah.
This is going to work.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, some people say, oh, I know this is going to be my wife or my husband on the first date. I'm just not that kind of person. That didn't happen to me. Like, I'm going to marry this man. You got to feel it out. But yeah, do you remember what you were thinking?
I mean, I was so nervous, honestly.
Yeah. Where'd you take her?
Because we went to Albernays.
Wow.
Actually.
Yeah, big dog. Pulling out all the stops.
Which I later sort of learned that might have been like a bit extreme.
But she seemed to like it. Or did she say anything?
No, I think she liked it.
Okay, good.
And I wore a suit to the dinner. Oof, it's kind of cringe. But I did. And it's just
full suit, not jeans.
No, I didn't wear a tie.
Okay.
But I was wearing a suit, so that happened. And
because you were nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to show my best self.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, it was great, and Bernays is
the
awesome,
best. Yeah.
Awesome, and Al's
still
the man.
Just as good today.
Al's the man, and I love all the people that work there. And when I lived in Oak Lawn, and one of the servers lived in my building. We were in a little fourplex, and she was one of my neighbors. And anyhow, so I just liked going over there and hanging out.
One of the managers used to live in my building.
Oh yeah.
But I don't see him around anymore.
Was
I
it
think
the
his name
guy
was
with
Rock?
Rock?
Yeah.
No. Sounds awesome though.
It's like Rock. It's not Geronimo, but that's what it seems like. Because that's what I would always say in my head. So I actually don't know his last name.
Okay.
And then I saw one, and I don't remember his name, but he's a manager there now. But I saw him visiting Rock one day because he lived on my floor, and we were all in plain clothes. They're usually in suits at Albernays.
Yeah.
I'm usually, I have hair and makeup done if I'm going to Albernays. So, and I did not have either because I was just, I think I had just taken my dog out or something, and I was walking back, and I was like, hey guys, what's up? Like, I love the Albies family. They're all very nice there.
Yeah.
And you know Al personally, don't you?
Yeah, he and my parents were friends growing up when I was growing up.
Okay.
And I think they were kind of in the same friend group together back when, like, in the 80s and 90s. When,
the crazy times.
Yeah, like Crystal Charity Ball and all the charity events were, like, huge. I guess they still are, but it was sort of at a different level back then. And I think they were all sort of doing their thing.
The 80s was decadence. So
80s in Dallas, like fun. God, it was such a gilded age for
I can't
for
speak
Dallas.
From experience. I was in Oklahoma, and I was also between the ages of 1 and 4. So
well, I wasn't old enough to know, but I just know from
you weren't born yet.
Here,
except for like what,
in the
1
late
year?
80s. Come on now.
What are you, 89?
87.
87? Oh, you're only 2 years younger than me?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were way younger than me. Like, not way, but maybe 35 tops.
I'm 36, so
okay, well,
it's not far off.
Stand corrected. Stand corrected. No, the 80s, I bet your parents were a lot of fun too, just knowing your mom.
They were.
Which is funny because that's kind of our origin story on how we know each other. It's all through your mom. So I used to take her yoga classes at Exhale Spa, which was at the old Palomar Hotel. What is it now?
It's called Highlander?
Highlander, yeah.
Yeah.
At Mockingbird in 75. I loved their classes. I was obsessed with it. So I used to take her classes. And then my sister did too. Lisa. Hey, Lisa. And so Lisa got to be friends with Linda, your mom. And then, I don't know, I think at some point, and you can tell me if this is wrong, but Lisa and Andy were looking to sell their townhome. And Linda was like, my son's a realtor.
Yeah.
Is that how it got?
That's how it happened.
Because did you ever meet her before that?
No.
Okay.
No, my mom is the greatest business development mind of all time.
Yeah.
And, my parents had a small business together, and she was sort of the business development person there.
Wasn't it mortgage?
It was mortgage, yeah. It was called BOMAC.
BOMAC? What's the MAC part?
Well, it stood for Bomar Mortgage Acceptance Corp.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. And actually it was like Western themed company.
Yeah.
And so we had a mascot and his name was Bo. He was like a wily cowboy. Anyway, they had lots of fun with like they would like go around to conventions and, mortgage conventions, like, how it's,
I've heard stories.
A slice of life. And,
yeah.
And
I've seen The Big Short.
Yeah. And they would like go to California. And back then, like, Texas wasn't as metropolitan even then, like as it is today.
Yeah, for sure.
And people were like, oh my God, like Texas, you must like rode your horse here. And like
people still think that.
All those like kind of old tropes, but they would just completely play it up. Like they would dress up as cowboys and they'd raffle off cowboy boots.
They were in on the joke.
Yeah, they had their own like cigars that they'd hand out to people and Stetson hats.
Okay, that's hilarious.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
But
hi, my name's Linda.
Yeah. Well, she's from Memphis, so she has like a Southern accent.
Yeah, different kind of Southern.
But different. But they don't in California or like in New York, they don't know the difference potentially.
No, of course not.
So
we all ride our horses to school.
In any case, when I got my real estate license when I was like 22, my mom would just tell everybody about it. And so she is responsible for a lot of my early deals that I was fortunate to be a part of. So,
it's nice to have a big supporter when you're starting out.
Yeah, she's my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And so when she teaches yoga, like you said, and so she just meets a whole lot of people, and she's such a bubbly, fun person, and people want to be her friend.
Yeah.
And so she told your sister about me, and they lived over on 3911 Gilbert, I remember.
Yeah.
And they sold their place there, and we helped them do that and find another house. And so I met Lisa, and you were living there at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I would have to leave for showings.
Yeah, you didn't
take my dogs.
I don't think you liked me very much in the beginning because I was kicking you out of your space.
No, I did not like you. I just was like, man. Got means to an end, I guess. Got to do this. Yeah, we weren't really friends at that point. Because I hated you.
To say
no,
the
kidding.
least.
No, we became friends more when I got into real estate and I was in mortgage and then I was trying to get your business.
Yeah, totally.
So shameless.
You know what?
But you know what? The friendship developed from there, so I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
And now my parents, you're basically part of our family.
Yeah.
My parents have
Helped
used
your
you as their
parents
realtor.
out there, and
yeah, found them a nice place in South Lake, and
lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah. They'll talk about you in the group text sometimes, what's old Ticker up to?
Yeah. Your parents are so fun.
They are. They're the reason why I ever played pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I wanted to talk to you about because I know you have started playing it within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only played it 3 or 4 times total.
Yeah.
And I do like it. I just don't make time for it. Mm-hmm. And I've played with Lisa and my parents every single time. And my parents whooped my butt every time.
It's like really humbling. The older people can be really, really good at it because it's really a technique sport.
Yes, they're so good.
It's, technique is so much of it that, not unlike golf, I suppose, where technique is
practice.
A lot of it. And you still have to be kind of athletic, but like really like the most athletic people can be beat by like an old guy that's like really technical.
Well, and the one part that got me was their endurance versus mine. Yeah. So I'm like 1 hour and done. And they're like, okay, playing another hour and a half.
Yeah.
And they just keep going.
Do they have a club up there they play at in South Lake?
I think they do play somewhere up there. They might have pickleball courts like on site in their neighborhood.
Okay, cool.
And they play with their friends.
Yeah.
But they play with Lisa and Andy too.
In their HOA, they may have.
Yeah, I think they do.
Community center or something.
Yeah. So they got really into it. They got Lisa into it. Lisa now plays, I don't know, do you think like 3 to 4 days a week?
I think so. I play with her occasionally at Williams Park.
Yeah. Is that how you got into it?
No. No, I broke my leg about 2 years ago. And I had to kind of stay off my feet for, I want to say 4 months.
Yeah,
5
that's a long
months.
time. You couldn't even drive for a small part of it.
For a while.
Yeah.
And I actually broke it again. I broke it twice in that 1 year. But
how did you break it?
Part of my rehab was doing pickleball, because you get like, you're not necessarily like running around, so it's not like super impactful on your legs, but it does give you that kind of side to side motion.
Yeah.
And I broke it like right above my ankle, and so it gives you like a lot of the good sort of ankle movement that you lose when you don't walk.
I would think pickleball
time.
wouldn't be that. What is the word? Rehabilitative.
I think it definitely is, because you're moving side to side and front to back.
I just feel like I would pull something.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't move a whole lot in the beginning.
Yeah, you're just kind of letting your partner take over.
You let your partner do it. But I have a great friend, Lucas Nelson, who he would take me out and I'd play singles with him.
Yeah, kind of build up the strength and
yeah, and it'd get me running around. But I think it helped me a lot in my rehab, and it's just a really fun sport, and I'm all about like free exercise, Don't
pay for a gym.
Don't want to pay for a class. Well, I do pay for a gym, but
do you go?
I do
Okay.
go, yeah. Texas Family Fitness.
Oh yeah, the one great. On Mockingbird.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I heard it's really good.
It's like cheap,
good price.
It's like $15 a month,
and I heard they have the nice machines and stuff too.
Yeah, they've got great machines, and like I'm lucky because being self-employed, you can kind of go whenever you want to, or whenever you have time, but that doesn't mean you have to go like before or after like the traditional work hours.
Yeah, you can go off hours.
So like, if you go there at like 5:30, it's packed, and you can't really do much. Or if you go like before 9, like it's packed. But if you go at like 10, there's nobody there.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So it's great. But
perks of the job.
In general, I love workouts that you don't have to pay for. Yeah. And then I love like
it's a good workout too.
Yeah, and it's great. And I love the community aspect of it too. I cycle a lot. I've been cycling my whole life around White Rock. It was great meeting other people kind of with similar interests, and pickleball is a lot like that too.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people that even maybe otherwise necessarily meet. And pickleball is great because really it's like a pickup sport. Like you don't have to play a lot. Sort of like tennis, you kind of have to, as far as I know, I don't play tennis, but you can't just like pick up a racket and like hang with any other tennis player.
No, tennis is hard.
It's way harder. So it's just fun that you meet like all different skill levels, all different kinds of people. And also, I am like a business development guy. And so, I do have to be kind of thinking about where is my next customer coming from?
Always.
And doing things like that in the community, whether it's, philanthropy or whatever it is. Like I'm just trying to meet people as much as I can. Pickleball is a great way to do that.
Well, it's a lot better than traditional cold calling, Zillow leads, stuff like that. Well, I guess it depends who you're asking, right? But for you're more of a relationship person. So
yeah, I mean, for me,
being able to make friends with these people first, and then they trust you to use them as their realtor just makes the job a lot better.
I think, just, this job is great that there's like many different ways to be successful. If you like cold calling, and some people really do, and they feel like that's a strength of theirs. And you can really do well with that. Yeah. It's not for me. I kind of like to go deep instead of wide.
Work on referral, word of mouth.
Yeah. So, just really kind of try to enrich my past and future and current clients as much as I can. Yeah. In hopes that referrals will keep me going.
Well, I think you do a good job of it.
Thank you.
Are you in a pickleball league?
No. Okay. I'd love to be in one though. I mean, I don't.
Are they kind of exclusive?
I don't really know how they
like clicky.
Yeah, just like kind of probably like any sort of sport league. I'm sure they are, but I don't know. I'm sort of a nomad. I just go around different courts around like Lake Highlands or like Richardson or Cole Park is one I really like to play at in the Knox area.
Literally right across the street from this building.
Yeah, which is close to here. And they have a lot of like the players there are young because it's kind of like, everyone's like sort of renting apartments
20s,
in the area.
30s.
Yeah. And so they're
first time home buyers.
And really like surprised, like almost nobody's from here. They're all like, I moved here from wherever they moved from, but
Are you seeing a common theme of states like California and New York?
Yeah. I mean, California, obviously, New York. Mm-hmm. But then you get like Midwest, you get Chicago, a lot of people from Chicago, it seems like. But really it's like all over. And then there will be like some older people there usually on like a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I'll play with them and they'll be like, oh yeah, we're here visiting our daughter who just moved here. You know, and this one lady I was talking to, her daughter's a doctor and she came here to work at Medical City.
Oh,
and
nice.
I think that's really popular because obviously our medical district here is huge.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have some kind of really, really excellent hospitals that attracts a lot of doctors and, you know, medical students from all over the country.
Yeah.
So it's fun to meet them and just learn their stories and, you know,
maybe
it's cool.
Potentially meet some people to work with, find them some homes.
Potentially, but like,
yeah.
you know, I think like at the heart of it, I'm just interested in people's lives. And if it turns out to
just
be
making friends,
if it turns out to be that way, then fantastic, but it's not the point.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny that just breaking your leg and the whole journey of that has led you into, because how many days a week do you think you play?
I don't know.
Well, I guess, are we talking?
It depends.
Like before Junith? Yes, I call her Junith, not Juniper. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Or after Junith.
I don't know. If it's definitely less now. Yeah. You know, the weekends are more difficult, but I still, you know.
And it's raining every day.
It rains every day and the trees don't stay up. And
oh, yeah, that part. Yeah.
The trees are all sleeping. I don't know, two or three times a week, really. It just depends. And like, you know, the great part about like just going to some court is like, you could do it at any time. Like, oh, I have a free hour. Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna leave. I just leave my office, go do it, and then
there's people playing at all times.
Most of the time. And we're like on some like Discords where there's like a bunch of pickle people, and they'll be like, I think your sister put me on one, where they'll just be like, hey, you want to play right now?
Oh, like
and
a group text.
And like three other people raise their hand, and you just like go find a court and play.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
and they
easy.
could just be like random people because there's like 200 people on this group text.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, this is so interesting. The inner workings of pickleball. Yeah. I'm on the outskirts. I don't know about this. I'm like an outsider.
It's the dark scene of pickleball.
It is the dark scene. Yeah.
It's all happening right under our noses.
It's like those tents by your house.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't ask. Just join in. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay. I want to go back to your leg again. I just want to talk about your leg. Okay. What year was that you broke it? Was it 22 or 23?
I'm going to say it was 22.
Okay.
Yeah. It was I think maybe March of 22.
Yeah.
That happened the first time.
What happened?
It was just a freak accident.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't kind of know for sure, but I broke my tibia and my fibula, which are just like the two big bones.
Yeah, like the two main bones of your leg.
In your shin, basically. And I was, I think what happened is I was mowing the lawn one day, and a rock flew out of the lawnmower and hit me like square on my shin, and it hurt like you know,
like the Dickens,
as they say, as my mom would say.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
So
did you know something bad happened at that point?
No, because like it bled and whatnot, and then I just kind of like shook it off and like took a shower and like stopped the bleeding that was occurring. And then I just like went along, and then I think like 4 or 5 days later, I was walking around the house carrying a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. And my leg just like broke, just snapped right then. And I fell over, and Tia was making dinner, and she, I squealed.
In a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Pain scale out of 10.
A million. I mean, it was a million.
Yeah.
You're so confused at the time of like what just happened, because it's so disorienting. At least it was for me, because like you just like don't know what's happening, right? And then there's like, you know, endorphins running through your body and adrenaline and stuff. So you're more like kind of in shock than anything, and then your legs like flopping around, and that just kind of sends you into a panic. Yeah. But luckily, God, you know, I think about it all the time. Like if Tia wasn't there, I mean, I couldn't have gotten up off the ground
to get your phone and call 911 or
I don't know what I would have done, or like what if I was riding my bike and it happened and like it flopped off the bike or something, you know, I don't know. But anyway, I was really lucky. She was right there behind me. And so her dad came and picked me up. He was the only one to get me off the floor. And we went to Baylor. And then it took, I don't know, 4 months to kind of get back to walking. And it was my driver's leg. My driver's leg is that. So I couldn't drive.
Right. We all know what you're saying.
Yeah, your driver's leg. You know. So I couldn't drive. So selling
for 4 months.
Yeah. So selling houses is difficult when you can't drive. But my dad is retired. So he actually sort of chauffeured me around to showings.
Oh, that's nice. Because otherwise, I mean, that affects your business big time.
It definitely did.
You cannot get out and see your clients show homes.
It definitely did. Like, you can't prospect very well from your bedroom.
You can't just do it all from your phone and not leave the house.
Yeah. And then like when you're meeting new people, like, current clients and referrals, like those go well because I kind of come already with trust. But meeting new people, like you just don't have your same energy that you might have otherwise. Because, it's a mental toll. Like when you just can't leave your house all day.
You're immobile.
And then like, And so you really, I couldn't bring my best energy to my business at the time. But it was all fine, But unfortunately, August of that year, I had gotten cleared by my doctor. He's like, you can go do whatever you want, like have a ball. I'm like, all right. So my friend had invited me out to a ranch. And so I went out to the ranch and, we were just horsing around and I broke my leg again.
Oh.
And,
did you break it on something or someone?
No, I just kind of like, I fell off a big, I jumped off something that was probably like 4 feet, which like to any person would probably be fine. But my leg just basically hadn't healed all of the way.
But your doctor did say do whatever you want.
He did, but that was probably not a good idea.
That's not what he meant?
No, I mean, I don't know what he meant, but I know what I meant, and my leg got broken again. And so it was terrible.
So were you like out, you said you're on a ranch?
Yeah.
So you were kind of out almost in the middle of nowhere?
Yes. My buddies had to take me to the hospital that was in that town. And like, they're not even open. It's like, it was a Saturday and they're like, they closed for business because there's just nothing happening.
Saturdays should be the biggest day of the week.
they had, well, there's like nobody out there. They had this one doctor back in there and he's like.
Who was also a vet.
He was, yeah, he had multiple jobs, I'm sure. He was a nice guy. But he's like, I think your leg's broken. And I can see like, it's clearly broken. Clearly broken. Anyway, the guy was
like, you think?
The guy was a trip, and
did you take X-rays?
Yeah.
And then he said, "I think your leg's broken."
Yeah.
Okay.
We already knew.
Not determined.
I already knew. I knew more than he did at this point about what was going on because of what had gone, from the beginning. And I have felt it break. Like I knew it broke.
Oof.
And the worst part was they couldn't give me a kind of like prescription level drugs at the time.
Why?
Because I didn't stay at the hospital. They just sent me back to the ranch. And they said they'd call in, some like better stuff in the morning. And then when I'm like the whole night, I'm like,
writhing in pain.
I'm like writhing around
my God.
and feeling so sad because I had just come off like such a hard rehab.
Just to do it all over again.
Yeah, just do it all over again.
Jeez.
And then I got into the next morning, I wake up my buddies and I'm like, take me to this, pharmacy. And then we get all the way to the pharmacy. I'm like, God, I can't wait to get here and get this stuff so I can not feel so bad.
Yeah.
And then we get there and the place is closed. The pharmacy in the square is closed.
Like closed for business or just?
It's Sunday. It's closed.
They're just closed on Sundays.
Don't get sick on the weekends.
And it's the only pharmacy in town.
It's the only one. And the hospital had called it in. So I was like, all right, call it in somewhere else. But they were closed. The hospital was closed.
You think they would say, hey, by the way, I'm going to call it in.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to pick it up Monday.
Yeah.
Oh,
so then
awful.
So I was like, look, dudes, to my buddies who were, who didn't want to drive back to Dallas. I'm like, when are you guys going to take me back? Because I got to go to the hospital.
Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry. There's no way around this.
Yeah. So they were cool. They drove me back. And then my wife picked me up halfway. So it kind of saved them half the trip. It was terrible.
So how long was the recovery the second time?
It was longer. because of the way that I broke
So it was
that
a re-break.
one. So it was bad. Yeah. So I have, at this point I had to have surgery both times. And I have a, a 2-foot long titanium rod and, plates and about 12 screws holding it all together in there. And that was a rough year.
So what's the prognosis now for your leg? Is it
It's fine.
totally fine? Are they like, hey, maybe don't do certain activities just in case?
I'm probably just, my daredevil days are probably behind me as far as
Your 4-foot jumps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'll ski or no extreme sports happening.
Well, you're a dad now too.
Yeah. Young Junie. I got to stick around.
Less risky behavior now that you have kids and.
Yeah. It's not like I was being,
You jumped 4 feet.
I was doing husband duties around the house and,
Yeah.
I got smited. So.
Yeah, no, I know
it's all good.
that was definitely a tough year for you. Personally, just because you break your leg, right? You're immobile. You like to cycle. You like to get out and do things. You like to go see your clients. You like to, do real estate basically. So I know that was tough for you. So it's nice to see you get through it, find pickleball with it.
Yeah.
Find different avenues of things that make you happy. Yeah.
Really, I feel very lucky that I have health insurance for one, because it was outrageously expensive to fix me, and I just feel incredibly grateful to have that, because I know there's people that don't.
Yeah.
And then when I was in the ward where they put you after they give you your surgery, there's people in there that are just way worse off than me. They're
things into perspective.
In motorcycle accidents and just really terrible stuff. And so and I'm also a lot younger than a lot of people that break their leg in this way. And so that really helps, obviously, for, the younger you are, the better your rehab's
Yeah, you're
go.
more resilient at that point.
Yeah, you're still moving around, but there's some people when they break their leg like this, they never walk again in some cases, because they're older and they don't move around. One thing my doctor said, on the first time, he's like, you have to walk on it the next day. You have to get moving, or
Wasn't
else.
It painful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else it won't kind of grow back together like it should. And so that's part of being younger, is that, you can get up and move around and whatnot. So it's all fine now.
Yeah.
I feel grateful just to be, just be fortunate enough to have people take care of me.
Well, you definitely bounced back. Had a baby.
Yeah.
Playing pickleball, driving, making friends.
Life is good.
Life is good now. What do you have goals for? We're halfway through 2024, but do you have big goals, work-wise or personal-wise?
Well, I've become a dad this year. So
check
really,
one off the list.
Well, no, not really. That's just where it starts.
Oh. Have baby next.
Yeah, that's just where it starts. For me, I just want to focus on being a good dad and a good husband. And, juggling this and my career is difficult. And I feel really fortunate that I have a really amazing wife that will just do, anything to help our partnership be the best it can be.
Yep. She is amazing.
So I just feel grateful to that, and I just want to give back to that as much as I can. So that's my main goal. Career-wise, it's just kind of the same as it's always been. I try to have kind of incremental growth each year that is stable. And then, really just make sure that I'm caring for my people as much as I can, and that they know that I care about them. And then I don't know that I care about the numbers as much as I do the people, and I think, for me, it's just as long as I'm focusing on the people, the numbers come.
That's a great philosophy. I try to do the same thing. I want to enjoy the people I work with.
Yeah.
And enjoy my days. Work with people like you.
Likewise.
Doesn't seem like work, right? Not all the time.
Yeah. That's the great thing about this business. You know, all your client, in my case, all my clients are my friends and all my friends are my clients.
Yeah.
And so it's just that's just the greatest career you could have, working with people that you like and being interested in their lives and get to watch them kind of grow in their lives. And, you know, obviously real estate's like the biggest asset they're going to own. So they go through like different stages of like owning a condo to a townhouse to a big house, to an empty nester house,
have a family, and
it's just like, it's really fun to watch them kind of go through their lives.
And knowing that you were helped be a part of that as well.
Yeah.
And maybe helped make a process like home buying, which can be extremely stressful, a little bit easier for them, and you know, take a burden off by being a good realtor and doing your job well.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, tell us where we can find you on social media, you and Juniper.
Yeah, Tucker B. Bomar at Instagram.
What does the B stand for?
Burton.
Tucker Burton Bomar.
Yeah. Or, you know, you can Google me. I'll show up somewhere.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Let's definitely make a plan for me to meet
Let's do it.
The little one.
I'm in.
I'm dying inside.
I'm in.
Every picture I see, I'm dying.
She's
so
ready.
Please, let's make it happen.
Of course.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tucker, for coming on. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.